Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today doing a Burning Abyss deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck is an extremely fun deck to play that I've included all sorts of spicy tech cards in this build for you guys. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description in a single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Skarm Malebranche of the Burning Abyss. Now, all of your main deck Burning Abyss monsters actually share a really cool common effect. And if you control a monster that's not a Burning Abyss monster, destroy this card. And it also has the ability you can use one of its 2 abilities per turn, that it always has the ability that if you control no spells or trap cards, you can special summon this card from your hand. All of your Burning Abyss monsters in the main deck share that common ability, but they also have some really cool graveyard effects, with your copy of Skarm having a super unique ability that during the end phase, if this card's in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can add 1 level 3 Dark Fiend type monster from your deck to your hand, except another copy of Skarm, which is a really cool effect. We then play 3 copies of Graph. Graph is definitely a 3-of in the build that has the ability, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a Burning Abyss monster from the deck, except another copy of Graph. We then play 3 copies of Seer. Seer has the ability, if this card is sent to the graveyard, then you can target a Burning Abyss monster in your graveyard, except a copy of Seer, and special summon it. We then play 2 copies of Farfa. Farfa has the ability, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target a monster on the field and banish it until the end phase. We then play a single copy of Libic. Libic is just a really good 1-of in the build that has the ability, if it's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon a level 3 Fiend type monster from your hand, but its effects are negated, which is a great effect just to be able to get a monster on the field. We then also play a single copy of Barbar. Barbar is amazing in this deck because this card does burn damage to your opponent. As if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target up to 3 Burning Abyss cards in your graveyard, except a copy of Barbar, and banish them, and if you do, inflict 300 points of damage to your opponent for each, doing a max of 900 damage to your opponent, which is pretty good, especially in time. We then finally play a single copy of Alec. Alec's really good as a 1-of in the build, because this card has the ability, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target a face-up monster on the field and negate its effects until the end of this turn, which is an insane effect to be able to use with this card. We then play 3 copies of Tour Guide. Tour Guide is just crazy powerful, and the best normal summon in the entire deck is when this card is normal summon, you can special summon a level 3 monster that is a Fiend monster from your hand or deck, but it cannot be used as synchro material and its effects are negated, so your Burning Abyss monsters will not destroy themselves when they are summoned to your side of the field by their own effects. So this card is definitely a 3-of in the build, just to instantly summon out to your side of the field so you can start making rank 3s. We then play a single copy of Fiendish Rhino Warrior. Fiendish Rhino Warrior is also a 1-of in the build because this card has the ability of, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send a Fiend monster from your deck to the graveyard, meaning any of your BA monsters will go off, which is super cool to be able to do. And also has the ability when it's on your side of the field that Fiend monsters you control, except Fiendish Rhino Warrior, cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects, which will make it so your BA monsters will not destroy themselves, which is really cool. We then play 2 copies of Speedroid Terratop. This card is basically like Cyber Dragon for the deck, that if you don't control a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, and when it's normal or special summon, you can add a Speedroid monster from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card, which is always going to be your copy of Tekatomborg. Tekatomborg has the ability, if you control a wind monster, you can special summon this card from your hand, which is the main effect we're using on this card to be able to use with our copy of Terratop, special summon Terratop, and then add your copy of Tekatomborg to hand, and then special summon Tekatomborg, giving you 2 level 3s on your side of the field to make a rank 3 play. We then play a single copy of the Phantom Knights of Ancient Cloak. Ancient Cloak is just really good in the build because we are playing a small Phantom Knight package in the deck, and this card has the ability, if it's in your graveyard, you can banish this card to be able to add 1 the Phantom Knight card from your deck to your hand, which is extremely important because it only adds the Phantom Knight cards, not Phantom Knight cards. We then play a single copy of Silent Boots. Silent Boots is also really good as a 1-of in the build because you can banish this card from the graveyard to add any Phantom Knight spell or trap you want from your deck to your hand. We then play a single copy of Psychic Wielder. Psychic Wielder is amazing in this build because if you control level 3, you can special summon this card from your hand. We also play a single copy of Psychic Tracker. Tracker has basically the exact same ability. If you control a level 3 monster, then you can special summon this card from your hand. We then play a single copy of Dangerous Tsuchinoko. Dangerous Tsuchinoko is amazing because all of your danger monsters have the ability to can reveal them in your hand. Your opponent randomly picks a card from your hand and discards it. Then, if the discarded card was not the danger that you revealed, you special summon it and then draw a card. But all of your dangers have unique abilities that if they're discarded, they get a really cool ability. For example, your copy of the Danger Noodle has the ability, if this card is discarded, you get to special summon it to your side of the field, which is a crazy powerful ability. We then play a single copy of Danger Jackalope. Danger Jackalope is great in the build as a 1-up because this card has a really cool ability. If this card is discarded, you get to special summon a danger monster from the deck in Defense System, which can be your copy of your Danger Noodle. A really cool thing about these cards is if they successfully go off and you get to special summon them, you also get to draw a card, which is so cool about these cards. I love the dangers in the deck because they do make your BA monsters go off if they do touch the grave, which is really nice. We then play 3 copies of Ash Blossom to round out the monsters. We're basically playing every good level 3 monster in the game that is an extender to be able to put on our side of the field besides Ash Blossom, which is just an amazing hand trap. It is a level 3, so it does come up every so often, but you're usually wanting to normal summon Tour Guide to be able to just get a level 3 on your side of the field. But this card is great because it basically stops your opponent from touching the deck. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial is really good because all of our BA monsters go off when they touch the graveyard. So this card basically says any effects you want from your BA monsters, go get it. We then play a single copy of Ghost Trick Shot. Ghost Trick Shot is amazing in this build to make F0 because what you basically do with this card is you use 2 of your level 3 monsters to make an Alucard, make an Angel of Mischief, detach the copy of Alucard to search this, activate this because it's a monster reborn to bring back the Alucard to your side of the field, and then make another Angel of Mischief, and then use both Angel of Mischiefs that you have on your side of the field to make a copy of F0 and then Utopic Draco Future. So basically any 2 level 3s equals a copy of Utopic Draco Future, which is so cool. We then play a single copy of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is amazing in this build to basically just stop your opponent from hand trapping you while you're going in for all of your plays. We then play a single copy of Armored XZ. The Armor XZ package is so good in BA. This card is so amazing because it lets you target a face-up monster you control and an XZ monster in your graveyard, and equip that monster from your graveyard to that monster on the field as an equip card with these abilities that you change the equipped monster's attack to this card's attack. The equipped monster gains this card's attribute, and at the end of the damage step, if the equipped monster attacked, you can send this card to the graveyard, and the attacking monster can make a second attack in a row, which is really cool to be able to use with our Dark Knight Lancer to be able to just basically OTK. We then play 3 copies of Forbidden Droplets. Droplets is just really good in BA because it's just amazing to be able to negate your opponent's entire field so we can OTK. And it's just a really good card overall in the deck to be able to use with our BA monsters. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to start with a single copy of Full Armored XZ. Full Armored XZ is just really good in the deck overall to be able to search off your copy of Fortress, because this card has the ability that if an XZ monster is on the field, immediately this effect resolves, you get to XZ summon 1 XZ monster using monsters that you control, which is really, really good. You can also manage this card from the graveyard to be able to target an XZ monster that you control and equip 1 other XZ monster from your face-up from your field or your graveyard to that monster with his equipped spell with the following effects: that the equipped monster gains attack equal to this card's attack, and if the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle by card effect, destroy this card instead, which is a great ability. We then play a single copy of Shade Brigandine. Shade Brigandine is really good in the build as a 1-up to be able to just use as a trap card to get an extra monster on your side of the field. It's really good in the deck as a 1-up to be able to search off your copy of Ancient Cloak because it is the Phantom Knight card instead of a Phantom Knight card, which is really cool to be able to do. And then finally we play 2 copies of Fogblade. Fogblade is a monster reborn by banishing it from the graveyard for your Phantom Knight cards, which is really cool to bring back your Phantom Knight cards from the graveyard to your side of the field. And also it's basically like Fiendish Chain, which is really cool because you can activate this card by targeting a effect monster on the field, negate that face-up monster's effect, and that face-up monster cannot attack, and also monsters cannot target that monster for attacks while this card is basically attached to it, which is just really cool for this card to be able to do. But I love this card as a 2-of in the deck to basically just use this card as a negate because you can easily get them both on your side of the field with your copy of your Link monster the Phantom Knight Link monster, which is just so cool to be able to do. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get in to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, guys, we're going to start off with Dante. 2 copies of Dante is really all you need for this deck now. But this card is amazing because it basically says mill 3, which is really amazing about this card because it makes our BA monsters go off. And it's just an amazing card overall. It does boost itself up to 2,500 when you mill 3, which is just really cool about this card. And if this card attacks, it's changed back to Defense Solution, which is a really cool ability. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, then you can target 1 Burning Abyss card in your graveyard except this card and add it back to your hand, which can be super helpful. We can play a single copy of Beatrice. Beatrice is really good because this card is Walking Foolish Burial, which is really cool to be able to just summon out this card to your side of the field. And you can also use Dante to be able to summon out this card, which is really amazing. Play a single copy of Ghostrict Alucard. Alucard can basically deal with set cards on the field, but you're only ever using this card to be able to rank up into your copy of Angel of Mischief, which you can basically just overlay on top of your copy of Alucard, then use your copy of Angel of Mischief to search out Ghostrict Shot by detaching the Alucard, and then activate Ghostrict Shot, bring back the Alucard to make the second Angel of Mischief, and then use both Angel of Mischiefs on your side of the field to make F0, and then you topic Draco Future, which gives you a crazy powerful boss monster. We then play a single copy of Torpedo. Torpedo is really good because it's how we start the Armored XZ package. This card has the ability, you just detach your materials. Basically, you detach 2 materials on this card to draw a card, which is really good to help you dig into the deck. And then use this card to make your copy of Fortress, which Fortress is amazing in the deck because it has the ability once per turn you can also XZ summon this card using a rank 3 or 4 XZ monster you control, and you transfer its materials to this card. It cannot be used as a material for an XZ summon while it has materials under it, so that's why you use the ability of your Torpedo to draw a card by detaching its materials and then make this card. And then it has the ability once per turn you can detach up to 2 materials from this card to add a Armored XZ card with different names from your deck to your hand, equal to the number of cards you detach from this card, which is great to be able to just add at least one of your Armored XZ cards from your deck to your hand, usually the trap, to be able to just set to your side of the field so you can make your copy of Full Armored Dark Knight Lancer, which is basically our main boss monster we're summoning out in this deck, which is just crazy because it has the ability once per turn you can also XZ summon this card using 1 rank 5 or 6 XZ monster that you control. And it's really cool to be able to summon out this card because it has the ability that once per turn you can target an XZ card in your graveyard and add it back to your hand. And once per turn, if an equipped card becomes equipped to a monster you currently control, then you can attach 1 monster your opponent controls to this card as a material, and it also gains 300 attack for each material and equipped card it has, which is insane. We then play a single copy of Downer Magician. Downer Magician is just really good in the deck to make a bigger copy of Zeus. Play a single copy of F0 so we can make our copy of Utopic Draco Future, which we make with the 2 copies of Angel of Mischief, which is just super good because this card is a walking negate, and it's really hard for your opponent to deal with this card. We play a single copy of AA Zeus because it's a board wipe and it goes in any XZ deck. We play a single copy of Rusty Bardiche because it helps us get to all of our Phantom Knight cards, and it's just a really good card so we don't have to leave our copy of Cherubini on our side of the field. But this card is really good because it lets us send the Phantom Knight monster from our deck to the graveyard to be able to set a Phantom Knight spell or trap directly from our deck, which is usually going to be a copy of Fogblade that you're going to set to your side of the field. Off this card's ability, then banish your copy of Silent Boots to set a second copy of Fogblade to your side of the field, essentially getting you 2 monster negates by summoning out this card. We then finally play a single copy of Cherubini. Cherubini is just really good overall in the deck to be able to summon. This monster's card points to cannot be destroyed by card effects, basically protecting your BA monsters, and it also has the ability to be able to send a level 3 monster from your deck to the graveyard once per turn, which is a really awesome ability to be able to use with this card, especially so you can use it in combo to be able to get a bunch of cards into play, which is amazing. This card is definitely a 1-of in the deck, but you only really need a single copy of Cherubini to be able to go into your copy of Rusty Bardiche, and that's mainly the reason we play it, is so we can link climb into Rusty Bardiche. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played BA before, you should definitely give this deck a try. It's really amazing still, especially with the Armored XZ package in the deck. It's really cool to be able to just establish this insane board, and the deck just keeps going and going, which is just amazing. It's basically a rank 3 toolbox deck, which is just really, really nice. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.